Welcome to The Oracle Scroll, a podcast for the spiritual seeker. Please join me, Kevin Walder, your host, as we explore living a spiritual life in a very mixed-up world. In this episode of The Oracle Scroll, we meet a friend of ours, Dakara Kies. Dakara is an author, master energy healer, a light alchemist, a sacred transformationist, and then she's a certified inspiration, money, and relationship coach. She's an intuitive reader, a Feng Shui Consultant, and an artist. And we'll give you lots of information on how to reach Dakara in the notes that accompany this video presentation. So sit back and enjoy the teachings of Dakara Kies as she leads us through some ways to maintain our higher vibration in this crazy world. Welcome, Dakara.
Thank you, everyone, for showing up tonight and being present. And for those maybe listening or watching the recording later, all of the energy work that I ever do is always encoded into the recording. So you'll be blessed just as much as the live moments that we're going to experience here in a few minutes. So a little bit, Kevin kind of read off some of the bio. I didn't actually send you my bio, but I've been doing energy work and healing work for over 25 years. I've studied in many different modalities. If anybody's interested, I can direct you to my certification page, which is got lots of stuff on it. And to me, really none of that stuff really matters. It's more about being present in the moment and listening to the guides. I believe pretty much everybody on this call is all psychic or intuitive, and some of these things that I'm being guided to share tonight are simply reminders. They're not like anything new in a lot of ways, but maybe some of it will be, or things that you hadn't thought about in a while that can help you redirect and bring yourself back to being centered and grounded, because that seems to be part of it, and pulling ourselves like out of the ethers and back into the present moment so that we can get stuff done. That's been for me anyway. And we have just come off this big, powerful Sagittarius full moon that for me has also been kind of intense. So I'm grateful for the shifts, and yet I'm still navigating that energy myself. So I do like to start by getting everyone grounded and into the sacred meadow that I've already set up. So I'm going to invite everybody to close your eyes and just imagine you're walking down a beautiful pathway in nature, any season of the year that calls to your heart. And before you is a beautiful meadow surrounded by a circle of sacred healing light, dancing light around the edge of the meadow. And as you approach that beautiful dancing light, just simply push your right hand forward and step through into the meadow, and feeling yourself standing within this sacred space. Off to the right is a rainbow waterfall of light. Just imagine stepping into that rainbow waterfall of light, allowing that light to wash down, around, and through you, cleansing and clearing anything keeping you from being fully present in this moment. I'm just going to chant some light, which is Anur, just to kind of amplify and help clear off any distractions, interfering energies. Anur, Anur, Anur. Just imagine anything interfering or distracting on the surface is simply falling off into that rainbow light and down into Mother Earth. And now step out the backside of that waterfall, focus on the base of your spine, sending a cord of light from the base of your spine all the way down to the center of Mother Earth, tapping into her wellspring of healing light, drinking that light up that cord through the base of your spine, right up into the center of your heart, as we commingle into an infinity loop in your heart with Mother Earth's energy. And then we're going to send that commingled energy up out your crown, all the way up to Source, looping through Source, bringing Source back down through the crown, right down to the center of your heart. As we now move that light into a figure 8 from the base of your spine to the crown of your head. There we go. Now we're going to loop in that infinity symbol connecting us into the energy and the essence of pure love. And so it is. So let's bring in some light that will help us see, navigate, get some clarity on, sorry, cat's crawling into his bed up there, on what might be distracting us like animals. Just showing up right now. So hand on the heart, physical heart, or you can put it on your heart center, whatever feels right for you. Focusing on your high self point, which is 18 to 24 inches above your head. If you reach your arm up, basically where the fingertips are touching is where one's high self point is. And imagine a crystalline vase, and we're going to call forth the light of illumination, the light of divine revelation, Prime Source Creator's light, truth, clarity, wisdom, and understanding that can help us identify any distractive devices, any gatekeepers, any energies that are interfering in our field that are ready to be released so that we can become fully present. And now imagine that vessel of light is being poured into your crown. Anur, Anur, Anur. Moving that light counterclockwise through the crown. Anur. Moving it in and through the corpus callosum, which is the bundle of nerves connecting both hemispheres of the brain. Anur. Spiraling it in to the midbrain platform, which is where the pineal, pituitary, hypothalamus, part of the brainstem resides. This is our manifesting platform. And I'm going to invite you to hold the bhaga, which is putting the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth. It makes that connection and allows the midbrain or the mind to know that an energy shift or something's coming. So hold the bhaga as we move that light through the midbrain platform. Anur. And I'm going to activate that platform, hold the bhaga. Sadashivam, Sadashivam, Sadashivam. Go ahead and release the bhaga as we spiral that light down through the head, into the throat chakra. Anur. Down across the chest, into the heart. Anur. Allowing that light to expand through the entire heart center into the deepest wisdom wells of your heart and out 360 degrees all around you. Al Mukman, Al Mukman, Al Mukman. Take a deep breath. And the first thing I do want to address is gatekeepers and what I made some little flashcards. Gatekeeper. What is a gatekeeper? Is that coming out the right direction? On my other computer it was. On here it's backwards to me. Okay. So a gatekeeper is an energy. It can be a being. It can be a discarnate. It can be all kinds of things that in many cases believe that it's protecting us or helping us by keeping us from interacting in a certain way. So a good example would be for me being a healer in many past lives where I was given death for being a healer. When back in, I think, 1992, when I was reaching out to take this first healing class, spiritual response therapy, I had all this resistance driving out to the first class. It was like a 45-minute drive. So many times hearing all the yeah buts in the mind and like, what are you doing? You don't need to be doing this. This isn't blah, blah, blah. And it's like, hey, wait, no, I paid for this class. I'm doing this training. And now I would call that a gatekeeper because, again, many gatekeepers are feeling they need to protect us. And because I'd been given death so many lifetimes for being healer, it didn't want me doing anything and learning any healing modalities. So gatekeepers can also be what I call hidey-hoos. They can also have a malicious intent, but the most important thing is, regardless of whatever it is, that doesn't matter as much as we want to just place love in its heart and release it, because it's not serving you at this point if it's showing itself. So we're going to direct that light, hand back on the heart. It's just a way to kind of direct the energy. And I want you to just close your eyes and ask your body if there's a gatekeeper connected to distraction. And it's the first visceral response. Everybody that I know on the call anyway is very intuitive. So you might feel your body pull forward, which could be a yes response, or just hear a yes. If you got I don't know, or I got nothing, or no, if you got no, that's okay too. We'll just ask for whatever energy might be interfering, but just kind of tune into that and where it's living in the body. So as a collective, I'm getting stuff in the solar plexus, which makes sense to some degree, our power source or center. So wherever it is in your body, just acknowledge it. I'm going to freeze frame all of the gatekeepers. And we're going to bring a seed of love, and it's about the size of a little sesame seed. And I usually see them glowing, so they're just going to float right down into the gatekeeper's heart. We want to express gratitude and appreciation for all of the lessons, the wisdom, the information that it's brought forward. And Archangel Michael, Sekhmet, Durga Mata are all stepping forward and cutting the cords that there may or may not be, since we're working with a collective group here, to those gatekeepers. And they're just going to escort the gatekeepers into the violet blue flame. And I'm going to anchor that with the truth. Take another deep breath in and out, and then just tune back in to where you were feeling or observing that gatekeeper in your being, and just pay attention to how that feels now. You can also rate where it was on a scale of 1 to 10 before we released it, and then where does it feel now. So the other thing I want to check for is distraction devices. So once again, hand on the heart, focusing on the light that we brought into the heart. And as if it's a little spotlight, let's just ask the body, are there any distraction devices? And to send a little spotlight to exactly where that is in your body. And there might be multiples. If there's multiples, I'm just going to ask the guides to address as many as they can in one clearing. These devices can also be known as implants or energies. They can have many origins or sources, from ancestors, past lives, aliens. There's a long list of where they came in. I'm more interested in moving them out, getting them out of the way. So and if you feel inclined, go ahead and rate the interference that this distraction device or implant is impacting your life or well-being. And sometimes these can also have us addicted to maybe watching the news, or maybe that's when we end up getting on Facebook, and that's where we see the stuff we don't necessarily want to be taken into our field. It can be a lot of those types of things as well. So just kind of tune in. We're going to send an orb of light in around that distraction device or implant. And for anyone that has multiples, we're going to send in multiple orbs, and we're going to bring in some sacred language, which is channeled language that's going to basically encapsulate. It's almost like the orb's on it, and then it's going to lock it in, is what they're saying. So we're going to bring in the sacred language to lock in this implant or device into the orb, and then we'll extract it. Shihalanai ishutu talaha usheanai ialayanai. All right. Now just take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, just imagine that you're pushing that device out of your body, wherever it is in the body, right in front of you. Deep breath in. And then I'm going to command that all of those orbs containing the devices, implants, etc., are sent into the violet blue flame within the meadow now. All right. Deep breath in. Exhale slowly. And the guides gave me a little something earlier today. And they said, be the eye of the storm. Stand strong and grounded. Allow the energy to whirl around you and intend for it to spin out and dissipate. For me, sometimes that's what it feels like, is like a storm is kind of going on out there. There's like, it's an energy of almost overwhelm where there's just too much data, information, too much going on. And I know for me, when I can just stand fully present and be grounded and then just intend that that's just like as if it's a tornado that's just dissipating and gone. It just falls apart. So that was a little something that the guides actually shared with me this afternoon. So does anybody have anything they want to share or ask before I go through some other like tips and tools, different things that the guides brought up that could be helpful? I think each person can unmute themselves and go ahead and share.
You can unmute or raise your hand, whatever's easiest.
How do they raise their hand, Kevin?
If you go down to the chat box, I believe.
You have to open up chat and then go over and click on participants, and that will bring up the participants as well as a split window for chat, and it'll be mute me and raise hand.
Okay. Thank you, because I don't have that on mine.
Yeah, I've got like a gallery so I can see most everybody here.
My screen,
Right.
my screen is different because of being the admin, so it's kind of, yeah, I'm missing some of those parts. So anyone?
I think we still, Cam is still muted, so is Sophie. There you go, Cam.
So Susie looks unmuted. Susie, what did you feel or did experience with that?
What usually happens is that they throw me so far out of the way that I don't always remember. So if the good answer is I was a point of light, then I'm, yeah. So no, I felt that there was an inverted triangle like under my ribs and in the lower spine area, and those were the devices, the distraction devices, and so they're like, yeah, we don't need these. And so they let them go. And that helps me cut these cords, other cords that I've been working on all month. So
good.
Yeah.
Good.
Feel much better. Thank you.
Yay. Sophie, do you have anything you want to share?
I don't know. For me, it was like I was wearing a cape, a dark cape. And little by little, the cape just sort of went away.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it's going to show, it could be any different way. It doesn't have to be any one thing or one way.
I know.
Yeah. So that's good. That you feel lighter or that's gone. That's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like I just heard it's like a monkey on the back is removed.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
I don't think we've met Jeannie.
Jeannie, where did Jeannie go?
Just turned off her camera.
Oh, there she is.
Oh.
There we go.
Jeannie, why don't you introduce yourself, and because some of us haven't met you actually.
Oh, sure. Am I unmuted now?
Yep, you are unmuted.
All right, great. So I'm Jeannie Sparks. I work as a psych intuitive, helping others to find their soul purpose and path, and connecting and getting them in alignment with their higher self.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
What I do. Go down to the fairs, the Spirit Fair, the Northwest Psychic Fairs, and kind of throughout Washington.
Cool. Yeah, I don't get out much to the local fairs anymore, so unless it's a art fair or something, I guess. So that's why there's new people that I don't know or haven't met, because I just don't really get out to those anymore, or I haven't. Doesn't mean I won't. Yay!
Dakara's been around. She's done all the fairs before, so she has stories to tell you.
Long time fair, yeah. And I mean, now I don't really do my healing work at the fairs. It's, my client base is more not in this area, back east, international. And it's just, it's not the way I work. I don't like to do that in a fair environment. So
Yeah, it's hard.
yeah, so, yeah, it is. So, but I love going out and sharing my art or my jewelry or my creations. And so that's what I do at the, at the fairs now. But I haven't really been doing psychic type fairs with that stuff. So usually because they're one day, I prefer to do 2-day shows, and they're, it's just, our setup is not simple, which is why we like to do 2 days, 2-day event.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
So out of everybody that I see, at least on my page, Lucy, we haven't heard from Lucy. Did you have anything you wanted to add?
Oh, no, thank you. I'm just watching and listening.
Okay, that's fine.
Perfect.
That's what we can do. That you can participate all you like, or just watch and listen, and that's fine too. So I'll put you back on mute so we don't accidentally.
Susie has a question.
No, Susie's going to say, I promise not to out Lucy in any way. She's my younger sister. And I won't say I won't embarrass her just being me. But I'm certainly not going to divulge any of her secrets. But I'm really thrilled that she's here. And I'm really thrilled that Jeannie's here too. So
Good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yay.
thanks, y'all.
So
here's some tools. Many you probably already know. So part of what the guide said too, it's like some of these are just a reminder as to how powerful you are when you apply the things that you already know. And I think everybody here would be open to anything new that might support them in moving forward. So one of the things is a daily practice. That could be anything. It could be, I'm going to draw one oracle card every day. It could be meditating, which, I'm not a big meditator sometimes, but it's not, for some people, that's their whole thing. That is not my whole thing. I just receive information when I'm supposed to get it. that's how I roll with the guides. So meditation is a great practice or daily practice for a lot of people, but it doesn't have to be meditation. It could be a lot of these other little tools. Another key ingredient and thing that we all must do, self-care. We've got to be doing things to care for ourselves, especially I have found 2019 to be a lot more intense, and we need to be doing something. The daily practice, maybe it's going to be, I'm going to take an Epsom salt bath every day for a week just to help my body and being cleanse and clear and go deeper on some, different layers or levels. And, when we move into the Cancer energy here soon, I'm looking for my astrology calendar. I think it's like tomorrow, Friday. Diving into that water energy is another, that could be part of the daily practice. Daily practice could be making a commitment to drinking so many ounces of water every day. It can be whatever you want. It's just when we create something in our lives that we consider a daily practice and we commit to it and then follow through, it keeps us focused and grounded in a whole different way. That's been my experience as a Gemini. That can be doing 15 things at once, or I used to be able to. Now it's more like maybe 5 if I'm really lucky on a good day. Don't have the expanded multitasking ability I used to. But I still find that when I decide that I'm going to do something like, I realized master production, because of the work I do, there's a lot of good juju up around the house because I work with people with dark magic and energies I don't want invading my field or our home. So this ritual that I did for 33 days a couple of years ago, I remembered, oh yeah, it lasts about 2 years and then you do it again. So I started that several days ago of making a commitment that every day for 33 days, I'm going to do those steps. It doesn't take more than 5 minutes, but I'm committed as a daily practice for these 33 days to do this, to strengthen the field around the house and make sure that whatever's being cleared off of people is going out where it needs to go. Vital. Give yourself permission to rest. There has been intense energies, and starting a year ago, no, Zoe, with my mom's health and different things and whatever, there was a lot of extra on my plate, and I have needed extra rest. Like I'm still working on catching up is what it still kind of feels like, though it's much better. But I had to really give myself permission to rest, because I would be laying in bed, resting, taking time for me, and then be thinking about all the things in the office that I should be or could be or better get in there and start working on. And then I would go to get up and be like, no, not really ready for that. I'm just going to give myself permission to rest. So that's vital. Sorry, I've got somebody trying to climb up my leg, so I'm going to just put him in baby pose so he'll be happy, because I can do that. So another thing is focus on your heart. Whenever you feel a lot of energy coming up and around, focus on your heart, because that's going to bring you back to center. There was something else I wanted to go with this one. And this is something that, sorry, it's all tangled up in my hair. The guides brought up, and if you do this right now, just close your eyes. You can put your hand on your heart or not. Sometimes it just helps feel a deeper connection. And then just hum. Because when we hum and we're focusing on our heart, we're creating this vibration that brings us back into our heart center. Any kind of humming, doesn't matter if you like to chant. It will be anything that can help bring your focus and awareness back, because when there's 10,000 things coming at us at once, it's a way to bring ourselves back to center by simply humming. Okay, everybody knows this one. Are you ready? Breathe. Remember to breathe. Pam has an iWatch now, I think that's what it's called, that reminds her every hour to stand up or to breathe, to remember to breathe. And it's so vital. When we get distracted, I feel like that's when we do a lot more shallow breathing, because we're trying to like pedal and figure out, what am I doing now? What do I need to do? You know, and I mean, I do it too. It's like, okay, I'm going to take care of this. And I'm on this webpage or doing this or that. And then I'm like, oh, wait, I have to go do that, or I have to adjust my calendar. I'm like, woo, take a deep breath and let's just do one thing at a time. Multitasking isn't really a real thing. You can only really be doing one thing at a time. But when we can be organized about the way we're doing that one thing and feeling we're accomplishing it, all the better. And alignment with humming is also listening to music that's soothing, etc. The Solfeggio tones, codes, goes by different names. You can go on YouTube. I also printed this out, but YouTube, there's like 1.5 hours, 9.5 hours with all the different, this is only 6 of them, but from liberating us from guilt and fear, undoing situations, and facilitating change. And there's different write-ups that are similar but a little different on some of these megahertz of the tone. So it shows the 2-letter word and then the megahertz. But listening to this, and if you have a way, let me put it up a little higher. If you have a way that you could listen to this at night when you're sleeping, even better. But you can listen, you can buy CDs with this on it. I know Whole Tone sells stuff, but I don't like their music as some of the floaty stuff that's on YouTube. But this is so good for healing us and shifting us on a deeper level. So another little tidbit there. Everybody knows this one too. Gratitude, appreciation. I should have put both words on there. Being in a place of gratitude and appreciation can help us redirect our focus to what we are being grateful and expressing gratitude for. And again, a lot of these are things you guys, I'm sure, already know, but they're just little reminders. Here's another fun one. sing or chant or something, because when we're doing those, we're in that energy of expressing ourselves through our voice and our vocal cords, and that vibration is also being carried out through our bodies. So another good little one there. Another one I'm sure everybody knows. Don't you like I made little flashcards for us for tonight? Well, because it's video, why not? Journal. So whether you do full-on journaling, gratitude journal, whatever it is, writing down the bones of your thoughts can be very liberating and help you focus, because then those outer distractions aren't getting your awareness or attention because you're focusing on what you're writing. Essential oils and flower essences. So if you're finding, I mean, you could talk to Michelle Mahler about essential oils that are good for focus. I know that personally, I have some blends that I make up for myself, and I don't even remember what's in them, but I love using frankincense, and frankincense is one of the ones that crosses the blood-brain barrier, so it is very good for your mind and helping you focus and clarity, as well as a whole lot of other things. It's like one of those, it's like lavender, or one of those multi help you get better on a lot of levels. Flower essences is the vibration of the life force, and those are very powerful in the way that they can help shift emotions and all kinds of stuff in the body. Here's a fun one: scribble or color or both. And so what I have found, and I share with clients, is if you've got anger and energies coming up that are bothersome, you're upset about something and you don't know in that moment how to process it, just scribble. Crayons, pens, markers, it doesn't matter what the utensil is, just scribble, thinking about that, because it's a kinesthetic action of letting it out of your body onto the page, and then you can decide what you want to do with the page. Coloring is also fabulous. There's so many adult coloring books. You know, back in the late 80s when I bought, I think the first one I got, it was Sacred Geometry, but it was so basic. Stars, triangles, there wasn't a whole lot to it. And now you can find everything under, you know, beautiful things to color. But coloring is mind altering, because you're totally into putting that color on the page. So the color activates parts of your brain and your mind. The kinesthetic action, creating something, well, whether you believe it's beautiful or not, it's still beautiful, you know, when you get to the end of it. Another one I'm sure everyone knows: spending time in nature, going out, getting your feet on Mother Earth, go out and be by a creek or a waterfall, or just, you know, for us, go in our backyard and just spend time back there. Even though, you know, we live right outside the city limits, we've kind of made it a sanctuary for us to enjoy. Another thing, ooh, it's downpouring out there. Focus on the midbrain. So I talked a little bit about that when I was bringing the light down. So it's literally a platform, and when you bring your intention into this platform, and then you can chant or just listen to the Savigio codes or tones or whatever you want to call them, or intentionally send it out. Imagine a frequency. If you have tuning forks or like tuning forks or a singing bowl, or I've got the Shanti bells, whatever it is, sending it from this place that's connected is an actual manifesting platform. So when you bring your awareness to the midbrain with the intention that you're sending that out, that's when magic can really happen in your life. Okay, so those things I was going to share, but then it's like I told you to close your eyes when we were bringing the light down, and I talked about the corpus callosum. I had a card made for that, but I already explained what it is. So does anybody have any questions or add-ons to the tools that I came up with or the guides gave me that they want to share with everyone? Uh-oh.
Oops, I unmuted.
Kelly, you can't get up there. Go on, get down.
Gosh, I keep doing that.
What'd you do, Kevin?
Oh, I'm unmuting the wrong people and muting the wrong people. And You know how that goes. I can't seem to, I don't know why Jeannie's button is not cooperative tonight.
Well, there must be some magical rainbows out there because the sun is beaming. I can see
Yeah.
it coming down.
Rain coming down.
Pouring down, right?
See, we were promised,
Yay, I don't have to water tonight.
we were promised rain today, and we didn't get it. Okay, what happened to Miss or Susie's? There she goes. Oh, I guess we're both trying to unmute each other at the or you at the same time.
All right. Stop messing with the mute button, people.
Okay. Okay, go ahead and unmute yourself, Susie.
There, I did.
There you
There
go.
you go.
And Jeannie, did you get yourself unmuted? Because I can't. There you did. Okay.
I am unmuted, yeah.
All right. So here we are. Okay. So questions for Dakara.
I have one other thing I want to share and do, but I wanted to just see if there was anything that questions or any shares, other tools that you guys, you know, I'm not the know-all be-all. I just go with what I know and what the guides popped at me today.
I've got one.
Okay.
And you mentioned it. It's actually not different from what you said, but it's a little different angle. It's called toning.
Yes.
And it's the same thing. Basically, it's the idea is that every sacred name contains the expression or the like the sound ah.
Yes.
Ah, whether it's Allah or Yahweh or whatever, there's a that sound of ah. So the idea of toning is to just use that sound alone, the ah sound, when you're doing your singing, chanting, whatever. And it works much the same way as the om.
Mm-hmm.
It sets up that vibration. I used to do it when I was on the road, and I would use that and on different levels even. I mean, you could practically sing it, and it was interesting.
Cool.
So
yeah,
that's my contribution.
Yeah. Yeah, and then also even any of the vowels. So ah, and then go into the e's and the I, and because those are all part of seed sounds or seed symbols.
Okay.
So they activate a lot of different aspects.
Mm-hmm.
Zoe, sorry. I just got a couple inches cut off my hair, but it doesn't seem like
I was going to say you didn't lose much.
Yeah, she took 2 inches, but it's still leaving it long.
Yeah. So you had more you want to add, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna have everybody. We kind of did some. The guides gave me some little affirmations, so I'm gonna have everyone again close their eyes and focus on your root chakra. And then after we do this one, I'm gonna have you open your eyes because I have a flashcard. So just listening to the sound of my voice and focusing on the root chakra, the base of the spine. I ground and focus easily. I am strong, safe, secure, and stable. And if you want to invite additional support, call on Archangel Michael. So I just put that up on the screen as well. But you just thinking about that, I ground and focus easily, because that's the whole thing, and getting out of the distraction factor is focus.
Mm-hmm.
I'm strong, safe, secure, and stable, which are all root chakra elements, and then calling on Archangel Michael.
Right.
Okay.
Good.
So then I want you to focus on your heart. My heart is open and aligned with the energy of love. I embrace and allow love to flow through me with ease and grace. And again, it's just a way to bring your attention inward. So it doesn't have to be these affirmations. It can be anything. But if we are focusing on the root, the heart, and now we're going to go to the midbrain so that we can make that kind of triad, even though it's not a triangle, is in that shape, but the triple effect. Mm-hmm. So focusing on the midbrain platform, My manifesting platform is vibrant and clear. I am aligned with my heart's desires. I am abundant and blessed. So, however you use affirmations or mantras or statements, but aligning these three, so from the root to the heart to the midbrain, it kind of covers our aspects of wanting to align ourselves in moving forward and being present.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. So, anyone have anything else? Any questions or anything to add? Any experiences you've had this evening? I don't know why everybody's still muted.
Well, I muted myself.
Oh,
I just
okay.
unmuted.
Technology.
Everybody but Lucy would like to stay muted, I think. So
Yes, she would.
so she's
would.
muted. Otherwise, everybody else is open.
Yeah, I'll message her. Just go, "You okay?"
She can hear us.
Yeah, just hear it. Just if nobody has to share unless they want to.
Thank you, Dakara, for joining us this evening and helping us with some helpful tips on keeping a higher vibration when we're surrounded by chaos. And for everyone who's had the opportunity and the pleasure of joining us, we ask you to check out the program notes that accompany this presentation, and there you will find links to Dakara and her work, and you can follow up with her directly if you like. So thanks again, Dakara, and we look forward to seeing you next episode. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. Thank you for joining us for this episode of The Oracle Scroll. Please forward any questions, comments, or inquiries to theoraclescroll@gmail.com, and we'll look forward to entertaining you again very soon in the next episode.